guys, so this is part 2 of how to use textures with like popping and just dance in general, right? So in part 1 we went through some previous textures, and now this one I'm going to cover some more textures. So let's start off with a texture of rolling. So how is rolling a texture? Okay, so you could think of it more as like a concept or an effect, but what is the actual texture of rolling? So usually it would be some type of ball motion, like something that's spherical, because in order to roll you usually need like a sphere, right? Something spherical. But then there has to be like some type of force that's causing it to roll. And if you look at like a style like Boogaloo, for example, you'll notice the rolls are very loose and relaxed. So being loose is a big part of like the rolls here. So something I'll show you is like your head rolls. They're going to be nice and relaxed. Okay, so you can already start to get this texture that there is like something loose with the head, and then even like the chest is starting to create this like this loose texture. So there's like a looseness that's going on, right? But even with rolls, we can change the texture of a roll, and we could make it like more isolated, which then it becomes like more mechanical in look. So if I show you like just isolating the shoulder, right? Or like just isolating the wrist, and then it takes on like this more of a like mechanical look, right? Or like isolating the shoulders, or we could even add like little stops to the roll. Boom, 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 boom. Or we can add like different speeds, like boom, boom. So the roll gets these different textures, right? Or more like more relaxed and sloppy. Okay. Or we can have more like snake kind of textures, and now like. So you have this roller still going on, or we can make it more animated, like boom, 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 boom. Or something I like to do is like trying to creep with it. Boom, boom. Yeah, but we can make it animated anyway. Like we could add like the pops. We could do like so much stuff with that, right? So if you can add animated rolls, it's pretty good. Like you can like tick 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 tick. So right, you can use rolls to like to change the texture with that too. So next is a shake. Now a shake is like, you got to think of like that claw toy, right? So the claw, it comes down and it grabs this toy from the machine, and then it kind of like swings over, and then as it stops, it has this shake. Okay? Or we can think of like a puppet, which also has this shake motion, like boom, 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 boom. Right? So shaking is like the texture of something loose, but it could also show mechanical motion too. Like I was saying, the claw machine is mechanical, but it has this loose feeling on the end, which is like, and then it stops. So we could use like a mechanical motion, like boom. So we can use that like shake to show that that a mechanical thing is coming to a stop. Like a crane as well, like a crane could like go, like has this extending arm and then it stops and then it shakes a little bit at the end, right? So a crane is also a good example of that. But the shake can be applied to other things as well. Like I'll show you tremor, and I'll also show you yeah, let's go straight to tremor, right? So an earthquake has this vibration that happens. It's like like that. If you think an actual earthquake, it's like a rumble or like a shaking motion or a vibration that happens. And then what happens with an earthquake? Everything starts to shake, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to just use the pop to let that energy come through our body and then shake the rest of our body, right? So if I go bam, bam, you notice how my body like shakes after the pop. I go like bam, bam, boom, boom, wow, boom. So there's that shake that happens after the pop. I can go bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. So that, in my opinion, that's what I call a tremor, because it's like we have this boom, boom. The pop is sending a shake or a quake through the body, like boom, 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 or bam. Right? So our head can shake, our hands can shake, our legs are kind of going to be like boom. Have this like shaking motion that happens after it, right? So that's like what I think of a tremor, because there is an earthquake. There is a vibration that is sent through the body which causes the body to shake, right? So yeah, that was just another way of shaking as well. But also tremor is also a texture. It's got like this vibration texture. So a vibration on its own, it's a little bit more controlled. So we're trying not to shake as much. We're just trying to do that. So it's like a tremor, but we're just gonna like a little bit more isolated in a way, where we can be like, just like kind of hold it in one limb, like boom, and then we really want to like add that vibration, like just in one body part, like whether it's the hands are going to be vibrating only. So we're still going to be very controlled, but we want to make sure our whole body isn't really doing this shaking thing with the vibration. So yeah, like unless we do like a full body vibration, which is like chest is coming in and out, like boom, 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 and the knees are usually going like this to cause this vibration effect. So I'm just kind of like, it's like a bounce, but then we speed it up and you get this vibration effect, right? And this is quite hard for me. I don't tend to be very good at vibrating. I'm just showing you the concept. So you know when to go like bam. And then you can apply it to the hands like that, and so on. So that's a vibration. Now there is ticking, obviously, which is more like a claymation kind of texture. Some people will just think of ticking as animation, so you could think of them as the same thing, ticking, animation, where you kind of want to like show that. So animation is like, or claymation I should say, like that. There's something clay or like animated that's not like, it's not a living being, it's being moved through animation, so the texture of it just doesn't look very natural or organic or human like. There is obviously like, it's more like a glitchy, something glitchy. Ta, 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 ta. like even you could pull out a sword like tap 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 tap. So you have this like ticking texture, which is like a claymation or an animated figure, something that glitches a little bit as it moves. Now, there's floating, which is like, some people call this anti-gravity or moonwalk, space anti-gravity, but we're just controlling the gravity. So the weight and the gravity of something is how you can use textures as well. So we could have something like really heavy, like we're holding something and then, oof, and we try and like pick it up, but it's so heavy we can't really pick it up like it's heavy. Or like even something we're trying to like pull something, but there's like this weight that's really heavy. So we can use Mime a lot to create textures, because I think textures are actually really influenced by Mime as well. So we have this balloon, the typical balloon Mime, right? So the helium is lifting our arm up. Because the helium balloon like flies up, it's like floating, right? But then the balloon's like heavy, whoa! So it's like pulled me down because of how heavy it is. Whoa, 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 maybe, whoa, whoa. Like wait. So you can think of the same thing, like we're trying to lift something, it's quite heavy to lift. Or trying to pull this thing up. It's really heavy. But floating now. Floating is like the opposite of heavy, where everything's like, like anti-gravity, like I'm floating in. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I'm not very good at floating, but I would recommend looking at Mr. Steen. He's like an expert and master of floating. But what I've seen some OGs do is still take that anti-gravity kind of concept, and they may make it look like they're on the moon, like they're doing like this moonwalk or something. So you can still show gravity, like if you're very light on your feet, like usually the floating kind of thing kind of comes from the feet, right? So it's usually the toes, and we're showing, oh, it's very nice and happy up here with less gravity. Everything's so easy, but actually, because we're being so controlled, it's actually quite difficult to do that. So it looks very nice and effortless, but it actually requires quite a lot of effort to get that float. So even like float, float, okay. Now, obviously mechanics, a robot, mechanical, everyone knows that, right? So we have something mechanical that's, it stops. We've got to try and show something's mechanical, and the way we show that is usually with some pretty hard lines, and then we also have like some rigidity, something that's very rigid, more stiff, so like boom, boom. But we can also use certain concepts like hinges and stuff as well to show that there is like something mechanical here, right? Boom, boom, boom. Like, so it's very isolated as well. Well, it doesn't have to be isolated. We could be like, we could use just character alone to kind of show a robot. But even with robot, there's other textures, right? So we have like all these different mechanical stiff movements, but we can add the weight. So we could have like a very like a heavy robot that's like It's got a lot of weight to it, right? Boom, pa, boom. So that's like a heavy robot. But we also have like hydraulics and stuff too. So actually, yeah, we'll do this quickly. So hydraulic is kind of like a car, like boom, boom. So we're kind of like breaking down levels like we're on hydraulics, like up, down, boom, so hydraulics, guys. Alright, so I'll see you in part 3.